Hello and welcome once again, fellow gaming fans. This is Small Archangel. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Rising World Survival, and we're going to see if we can do a bit more work on our Lighthouse build here today. Now, when I built the castle and various other builds that I have built in Rising World, they have taken me a very, very long time to build, and they always do, quite frankly. But at the moment, I don't really have time to put 4 hours into making a single video. So forgive me if furnishing this place takes a little longer than perhaps it took us to do the castle, because as I say, there was an awful lot of off-camera work went on there and an awful lot of editing, and as I say, I really don't have time to do that at the moment. So we're just going to have to see how much we can get done here just with the time that I do have available. So I have got... Oh, no, I put it all away. I have got, first of all of our resources down here, and what we're going to be doing today is pretty much landscaping and exterior stuff that needs doing. So if you remember from the last episode, we did come all the way back from the desert, but we did actually find ourselves a load of seeds and stuff as well. Oh, and if we have a little look at our map, look, there's a lighthouse from above. It looks quite cool, quite funky actually. So there we go. Now I haven't yet done a path, but it seems to me, looking at the map, that probably the best thing to do path-wise is probably just to have a path that kind of meanders. It's going to be a long path to join up with that, but we do want it to. Perhaps out in this direction over here. I'm not sure, but that's something I will probably do off camera, because it ain't particularly interesting thing to do on camera. So yes. So we've got 4 light bulbs in there already. We're going to want to do some exterior lighting today, I think. But the thing that we really need to start out with, of course, is our sandstone. Here it is. Well, not sandstone so much as sand. We need to be able to make some windows. Now, I don't actually remember what we need to make windows with. Do we even make them with this, or do we make them here? We made them here, don't we? Glass pane, there we go. 4 sand. Okay, now we actually need 60 windows in this place. It's a big place. It's got a lot of windows. Therefore, if we take 2 stacks of that, we should be good. Glass pane, max. We can make 32. Really? Twice? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just see how many we got. We got 32. Okay, in which case it is actually going to... No, not that one. It is actually going to take us quite a lot of this. I did sort of calculate how much this was going to do. The last time we went to the desert to get sand for this, I did in point of fact. There we go. We've got 64 now, so that should be plenty, shouldn't it? I did calculate roughly how much we're going to get, and then made sure I got even more. So there we go. Okay, so we're going to glaze this place first and foremost, so that all of our windows actually have glass in them. And hopefully we'll have enough panes to do the job. Okay, I think that's it. Finally, this place is now actually weatherproof, and more importantly, I can't just walk straight out of the top of our lighthouse here, which is great. And we did have just about enough. I've only got 4 left over, which, yeah, suggests that I did calculate sort of fairly correctly there when we visited the desert. Okay, so that is that. Now, the other thing that we definitely need to do, and I'm going to include this in today's build, we need to do a lot of railings. Now, partly we need railings for here, because I want this to be a safe walkway. Oh my goodness, and you can see it's not ever so safe at the moment. I could quite easily fall to my death. But what a view. It's fantastic. So we really want to be able to put railings all the way around there. Now, I don't honestly know how many I'm going to need for that, but we're also going to need some railings on the inside here as well, because currently we can fall really quite a long way down there. So I need some railings all the way around here as well. And I think for both of those, we're just going to use the iron grill. And I've only calculated roughly what we've got here, because it's kind of difficult to tell in point of fact, block-wise, how many we're going to need here. I estimate we're going to need at least 100 for the job. We're probably going to need more than that, but heck, if I have to go running up and down the stairs a couple of times, I'd rather that than waste any resources. So we're going to head all the way back down. Sorry, folks, this is kind of dizzy making. And we're going to head all the way back down to the bottom of the lighthouse, and then we're going to see if we can craft ourselves. Now, I brought a load of stuff from our from our castle. So we've got tons of resources, and hopefully we have enough resources. Let's just take these 18 ingots. I'm going to put that there for the moment. I've got my anvil here, but we haven't got a furnace here, which means that we're not going to be able to there's some things we're not going to be able to make here. No, that's not what I want. And we want to go into, now is it banister? I think it's grates. I think it's these that we actually want. Either that or that. Now that's not ever so tall, is it? We probably want the taller one. And do we want it in that metal colour, or do we want it in black? We don't want it in the rusty looking colour. We want it either... Do you know what? Let's go for that, because then we can actually see. And it's iron rods that we need. And how many iron rods? We need 8 iron rods. Right, we're going to need a lot of iron for this. So let's just take all of those. We've got some iron plates there that we can turn into iron rods, and we've got some iron rods there as well. So let's turn these into iron rods. Where's our iron rods? There. Let's just do that. Oh, there we go. We've got 72 of them. That's nice. Let's see how many we can make with that. Okay, how many? We can make 12. Well, that's rubbish, isn't it? Okay. I wouldn't... Yeah, okay. So we're going to need to make quite a few more than that, I think. Let's place them here first. Now, this is... Yeah, actually, I think maybe we want the smaller ones here, just because that obviously isn't going to work on there, is it? So maybe I rethink that. But we'll place these here for the moment. Let's just do that. And we'll see how far around we can get with this. And that's going to be a very safe railing. And let's see if we can do this. I think we're going to have to do this off-grid, because otherwise it's never going to meet up. So we'll just carefully line this up as we go. And probably these aren't going to be exactly the right length either. So we're probably going to need to fudge it ever so slightly. Okay, let's see what this looks like. If we put the grid back on, is that going to meet up? No, not at all. Oh, well. I think, can I move these? Yeah, we can move these. So we can move these around, in point of fact. Okay, so I've got all the way around, but they don't quite meet up. But as I say, we can shift these anyway, so that's probably what I'm going to have to do. I'm fairly sure that there's a smaller version of that, which it might be wise to employ as well. And again, I'm fairly sure that if we use these here, if we could have one that was smaller, that would fit there rather better as well. But again, these aren't going to quite fit because they're too big also. So I think for now what we have to do is head back down. And I'll have to revisit that later on, but we will have a look and see if we can make some smaller gratings, because having them fit properly would be ideal, really. So where are we? Banister. Okay, we can make that. That's quite large, however, and we can make that, but we can make smaller one, but that's 1 by 1 rather than 2 by... Okay, so there isn't a narrower one, which is annoying, unless it's that one, which is very, very much smaller. So maybe we need, I don't know, I don't think we really want that, however. I don't think we want one that small up there. We need a tall one. So I think we have to stick with what we have, and I have to just try and make it fit as best we can. Okay, so here I think what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to clip these through each other deliberately like that, because they're not going to be the right length otherwise. They're going to be the wrong size. I kind of wish that there was a... Oh, go on. Go where I want you to go. For goodness sake. There. That's it. I kind of wish there was a sort of a half width one, really, because that would be more useful. Just one block. Oh, grid back. There we are. And it's going to be more tricky to do the diagonals, of course. But let's try starting here. Now that sort of works, does it? Let's just try that and see what that looks like. Yeah, it's a little messy, but I don't know. Can I do any better than that with... Not sure. Let's just see what we can achieve if we do that with grids off. We can get it to meet up nice and neat. Like that. It overshoots in this direction, but that's okay. Now, they're not going to fit properly here, so we're just going to have to clip them through like we did with the others. But that's fine. We'll just make sure the outside edges meet up like that. There we go. Okay, I think that's probably about as much railing as we actually need to put on there, so that's good. We've got a few holes in the railing top side, which I'll deal with later, quite honestly. It's just like little bits of the corners here where we're probably just going to have to... Wow, total whiteout around there. Normally I have a really good view from up here. So basically I'm just going to have to go around here and I'm going to have to fiddle them a little bit to sort of make them fit, and I'll probably have to work out some way of sort of putting in extra ones and clipping them through each other like we did below. So but apart from that, that's looking very much better. That's looking pretty good actually. I'm liking that, and I'm not going to be falling down these stairs again anytime soon. But now it looks like it's getting rather dark, so I'm not sure if that's the weather or if it's nighttime, but either way, it's not great for visibility because we don't currently have any lighting apart from right down here in the basement. So the next thing we want to do, and you can see we've actually got 8 of those left, which is fine. Do we have any? Yeah, we put our building blocks and what have you in here, I think. There we go. So I'll put these in there. I'll put my iron rods here, and my iron rods will go there. However, of course, we're going to need some more iron, because I didn't know the railings were going to take up quite that much, because we need to make some more railings for outside our house, outside our lighthouse. And what I want really is to use this kind for around the top of our steps. And probably that kind there, probably that kind there. But for that we're going to need lumber and we're going to need iron rods. So what I'm going to have to do, and it is getting on for evening anyway, I'm going to have to go back to the castle and get some more iron, because I thought I brought enough, but clearly I had not. In the meantime, I have got lots of lumber here and some more tree logs that we can make lumber out of as well. And I'll see you guys in the morning when we can carry on basically doing the garden. So this little plot out here, and we'll put some lighting as well so that we'll be lit up on the outside too. Look at that sunset, and we'll see what we can do with this little plot here. So I see you guys in the morning. So it's still kind of misty around here, not great for visibility, but from this small prominence here we can sort of see our little garden area. It's not much, but you wouldn't expect to see too much garden with a lighthouse anyway. Nonetheless, I do want a little bit of one, but the first thing to do, and I've got a load of iron, I really got tons of the stuff. We're going to need some more for furnishing the inside as well, but that will come later. Yeah, we want to put some railings around here. Again, safety first, and then we'll think about how we're going to landscape the actual garden area. So we're going to need more iron rods, right? Let me just check. Yeah, iron rods, more iron rods needed, and we do have some in here to start us off with. There we go. Let me just do this first. I don't want to be using up all of our iron ingots at once like that, so let's just do this. Iron plates come first. There we go. Load of them. Now, we're not going to need that much of these anyway. We just need a few of these for around the outside of our steps. And I reckon there's probably going to be about 20 of those. Let's just make sure we get the right colourway. Probably that is best for outside of our lighthouse. Let's just do 20 of those. Okay, and then we'll see. They're only stacked in 8s, which is kind of limiting, actually. It's kind of annoying. Let's just put one of those in place of our pickaxe as well, because we don't need that at the moment. Here we go. And again, we'll put on our... It's a bit dark around here, isn't it? We'll put on our grid, and we'll just turn that around. Now, is that going to be correct? Yes, it is. There. And we just want this to go all the way around the outside here. Ah, we need a corner piece there now. Is there such a thing as a corner piece? I don't recall, but if there is, we need, it would make sense. We need one. Yeah, we're going to need 2 of those. There we go. Lovely. And then we continue around here. There we are. And that's pretty much that. Now, I have noticed that we have actually got a bit of a gap there because of the slope, but maybe we could put a sloping piece of banister up there, and that would look pretty cool, because I would like to put sloping banister going down here, and then maybe we'll sort of finish this off with some more banister at the bottom. I'm not sure. Have I got some of these spare? I've got 2 of those spare, so actually I calculated that exactly because I forgot the corners. But yeah, it's now sanding it down on me, which is lovely. We need to make some sloping sections now. Are there such a thing as... Yeah, I think we need... Oh, again, difficult to judge blocks, but I'd say we need about 4 pieces here. Let's just check with this. What does this look like? We put that on grid. Yeah, there we go. If we put that on grid, we can see... We got 1, 2, 3. I think there's about... Is there 5 there? Let's just see. 1. And that would be 2, 3, 4. Okay, we've got 4 there. And then that would be 5, 6 because we have 2 there as well, either side. So let's go back down and make a couple of those. So we need slope. There we go. And we need 6 of those, I think. Okay, and here we have them. And of course, hopefully, maybe we can use these to good effect inside the house as well, around the stairwells. So if this works okay, we will give that a go. Let's just see, are these going to work here? Only if we can place them on the flat, actually. Yes, there we go. That works nicely. Oh, except it won't place it. There, now it will. It wouldn't place it because I was standing in the way. Oh, nice. I like that. That works beautifully. Okay, a little bit difficult to get in the right position, but there we are. Fantastic. And now I guess we have to do the same thing in the opposite direction. Downwards. Phew! Okay, that was actually really, really tricky to place. Those are extremely twitchy. I'm not sure why they go so crazy, but they do. That was really very difficult to do indeed. There we are. That's nicely finished off now. That looks great. I like it. I like it a lot. And we used up all of those, but we have got a load of spare iron rods, which is going to be useful too. So that looks great. Now, what I'm thinking, this is only a small garden plot, and I will plant some grass in it, but before we do that, we probably need to work out where our path is going to go. Basically, we're going to carry this on as if it's a wall here, but then we're going to have, now we've got water in the way there, so probably what we're going to have is our path coming out. I'm going to have to perhaps level some of this off a bit. We'll have our path coming out this way, perhaps. Although it needs to go that way, but we could curve it around here. I don't really know. Does it matter that much? We need our path to go that way. really, over that way. And so I'm going to have to do some leveling off, but not necessarily right now. What we want is to put a wall along here and then along here. So the wall is going to echo the shape of the lighthouse itself. It's going to be kind of like a mini harbour wall. It's going to be like a little diagonal there, and then along here. It's not going to be ever so high, and we're going to put a little railing on top of it. And then we can sort out how we're going to build, how we're going to lay out our garden on the inside. So first of all, we need something to craft a wall out of. Now I'm thinking actually that this concrete here is not going to be a bad choice. It's going to tie in nicely with our steps here. We've probably got some spare blocks as well, and we're thinking functional rather than pretty, though I'm hoping the garden is going to look quite nice at the end of the day. So let's go have a look in here, see what blocks we have. Page 2, we have some blocks here that are concrete, but I'm not sure. I think those ones, I think they are the ones that we need. Now, do we have, because this is where we're going to need tools. No, tools, there. We are going to need this. Let's have our sledgehammer back in our hand. Okay. We're going to need that. We're going to need some triangular concrete blocks as well. And I'm pretty sure I've got one. Whoop-de-doo. Okay, let's go see how much stone we've got. Well, we've got a bit of stone here, haven't we? I'm not discounting the possibility of my having to go and get some more, but probably not during this episode. Probably would be all right for this episode. Stone. We need concrete. Concrete there. And it's this one here that we want, isn't it? Except that we're wanting some triangular sections because... There we are. Let's just do that because we're going to have to make let's make some square ones while we're here as well, shall we? That would be sensible, because we're going to have to make diagonal walls. So we'll just go on a stack of those also. There we go. And then we'll head on up and see if we can just try not to... I can't jump off there now. I have to actually follow the steps down. What a shame. Okay, so this wall, yeah, needs to be diagonal, which is what I thought. And I guess we start it from... It would make sense, I suppose, if we started it from here, wouldn't it? Are we going to be able to go all the way along that? Might be a bit tricky, actually. Go all the way along there. Oh, we should be okay. We should be able to do that, I think. We can get any of our blocks back when we want, if we want to, anyway. Yeah, we're probably going to need... Oh! How did I manage that? Managed to place a block on top of itself. That's not very good. Okay, and I think maybe one more. There. And then we'll have a straight wall going in this direction. So we'll just plan that. In fact, do we want this perhaps to be just one more? Yeah, let's do that. And then we're really following the line of the land there. There we are, kind of like that. And that's as high as our wall really needs to be. Though, of course, we do need to... Actually, it might need to be a tad higher on this side, might it? Okay, so that's how I've dealt with that corner there. Now we just need to build this along again. There we are. And then I guess I probably need my rake to try and level off around these walls here. And then once we've done that, we can really start thinking about where our walls go, about the rest of the garden. I think perhaps we need to think about walling in this little bit here as well, don't we? So I think we'll probably have our gateway just here. Okay, I think that's more or less as much as we can achieve here now. This is pretty much level, or as much level as it can actually be with our sort of blocks there. I might have to sort of remove this wall in order to get it properly leveled, I'm not sure, or maybe I just don't mind that much, I don't know. And then I continued this wall out a little bit more in this direction, just so it's sort of the same kind of... Oh, that's not very level, is it? Oh, I can't get it any more level. So it's kind of almost sort of symmetrical. And then we have a little bit more space in our garden plot. Our pathway is going to go through here. Somewhere, somehow, in that kind of general direction, up the hill and over towards our main roadway. This roadway here, which goes all the way along to our other builds, which I still haven't followed along, but we will do. We will fill in our map. Basically, we will go a little bit more sort of questy and things once we've finished this build. But for now, let's just see if we can finish off this wall. Let's see, where does it want to go to? Really, our other gate post needs to be, and at the moment, there's sort of stone and things in the way, but we want it to be, if I sort of put in the floor, it's going to be there-ish, isn't it? Sort of like that, really. And then I need to get rid of all of this lot with the pickaxe, really. I think, and then this, maybe we need to do that, a diagonal wall on that side as well, just to sort of mirror this. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the thing to do. And then diagonal. Or maybe we just make it like this. That's not going to go far enough, is it? But it's not, I don't know, is that going to meet up with the one over there? I'm not sure. That's kind of, no, it's not, is it? So I think actually we'll stick with my original plan and we'll do some diagonal ones. Oh, there we go. I don't know how many of them we're going to be able to do because we haven't got many of these blocks, but we can make some more. And then we're going to need our wall then to sort of meet up with that one over there. And I don't know if it's going to. I can't honestly tell because it's... Ah, well, we're going to have to get rid of this lump here anyway at some point. So, do I have my pickaxe? I do have my pickaxe. And so what I'm going to do... They go together. They do. So I'm going to take my pickaxe to this mound here. And we're going to hopefully get a shot of it. And then we'll be able to properly level the garden off. And start with a bit of landscaping. And it's night time, so I will also sleep the night away and join you guys in the morning when we've got a bit more light and we can see what we're doing. Well, there we go. So we've got a slightly wonky shaped garden. I might have to move that wall there actually. It looks a little bit bizarre, but I've leveled it all off, so it's nicely leveled now. Yeah, that's kind of pointlessly wonky, isn't it? So we might just have to do something a little more sensible with that. But apart from that, we've got the garden sort of more or less, the garden space more or less where we want it. Let's just see. I need that like there. So what we really want to do with these is that, isn't it? That is really where we want that to go. That makes more sense. So I will just straighten that out because it's going to bug me if I don't. There we go. That's better. That's far more sensible. Okay, here we go. So, what we want, we've got our gateway over here. What we want is a little low railing all the way around the outside, which will be lower than that, I imagine, but hopefully it'll look okay. If it looks a bit weird, what I'll do is I'll just take this bit of railing here out. So that's the first thing we're going to do. I've got some gravel, which I've ground up in our grinder at the castle. So we'll grab that as well. Where have I put it? I think it must be in stone. Here we go. I'm not sure how much of this I've got or how much of it we're going to need, but I just want to make a gravel pathway. So we want some more of these, but this time what we probably want is the smaller grates like this. And I think, do we want the lighter coloured ones or do we want the dark ones? In some ways having a contrast of the dark one might be nice, but the rest of our railings are in that colour there, so I don't know really. I think probably we'll go for consistency and we'll use this one here. Not sure how many we're going to need. We can only make 39 anyway, so let's make those and see if we can place them. And then we'll see if we can make ourselves, basically we just want a gravel going across to there. And and maybe we'll sort of snake it around the outside and down to there. I'm not sure, but it might be sensible to go straight across here and then across here and then here, and then that way we can have a border of flowers or something pretty there. Okay, so let's see how far we can get this to go. Of course, first of all, we're going to have to go diagonally, but it looks like that's going to fit quite well there. Okay, and then after that, we're going to have to do this off-grid. Okay, there we go. I've had to clip it through a couple of places just to make it fit properly, but actually that doesn't look half bad. It really doesn't. So, what we're going to need now, we're going to need our pickaxe. We can get rid of those. We've got a full stack of 8 just spare. We're going to get our pickaxe and we're going to get some gravel and we're going to see if we can dig some gravel. I don't know. I'd love to be able to just plonk gravel there, but of course if we do that it's just going to form an enormous heap, isn't it? So what we're going to have to do, of course, is dig a hole in the ground like that, and I'm not sure quite how accurate that's actually going to be at the end of the day. We'll probably find that we have to, look, it just kind of heaps it up enormously. So this could be a frustrating process. It certainly has been when I've tried to do it before. For some reason it just, it doesn't work ever so well. It's extremely imprecise. You see, that's all right, but for some reason this is an enormous pile. And I think we'll take, if we can, our pass over in this direction. And we'll continue the gravel on in that direction as well. But first, oh, there we go. Is that actually getting it nice and level? That would be lovely if it did. Looks like we need another bit here. And then can we have that leveled out? Oh, maybe this mechanic kind of works. Or actually, in the end, it looks like we need a little bit more there. Oh my goodness, that's way too much, surely. Okay. Okay, it's a little bit crazy, but that's mostly where we want it. Okay, we might need a little bit more here as well. So no matter how much of this gravel I put there, it will just vanish when I hit it with the rake. There you go, it's disappeared again. So that's annoying, and I'm going to have to try and do something about that, like maybe take the stone out of the equation. But the rest of it is relatively... Can we just level that? Yes, excellent. The rest of it is relatively level, actually. Oh, that is not the right direction I just raked it. There we go. So that's not bad at all. Apart from this bit here. And can I... No, it is that stone. It is that stone that's messing us up there. So I'm going to get rid of that stone and just fill in with dirt, I think. And we'll see if that resolves the problem there. There, that's pretty much level now. There's just a little bit of a wonky bit in that corner, which I'm not too bothered about. And we have exactly the same problem here, and that is also caused by stone. So we're going to get a shot of that, because the stone just seems to behave a little bit bizarrely when you rake it. Stone shouldn't be affected by rakes at all, of course, but for some reason it kind of is. There we go, and all of a sudden, whoops, all of a sudden that is beautifully level. And so is our gravel path. Although I have to admit, it's got a little bit wild on this corner. There we go. We actually don't want, we don't really want that to be gravel there. So, I don't know. Maybe I've got a little bit of work to do on this, because it's got a little bit wonky, but never mind. It's not too bad at all. And then with the space we've got here, as I say, it would be nice to have a kind of a border of flowers or something going in this direction. I might have to tidy up this path a little bit. And then about maybe a border, I don't know what. But we want some crops here. We really do. We want some crops here. Bothers me that I can't get that level at all, but there you go. And we've got a couple of trees to plant as well, which I'll probably sort of put more in the middle of there. And we're going to make some grass too. Now, I do have a hoe, so let's just get these out of the way. And we have a hoe, and we're going to hoe some rows. Let's see, whereabouts. This is going to be our flower border, so I'll place flowers there later on. I'm not going to worry about that for the minute. We're going to want grass along there as well. We've got plenty grass that we can do that with. And then I want some crops sort of along the edges here. Now, again, we've got stone here, and we don't really want stone, so I will just get rid of this stone. Okay, so what we really want... Oh, good Lord, does it have to dent the ground like that? Oh, no, I can't believe this is massacring my lovely level terrain. What the heck? Why is it doing that? That should not happen. It should not affect the level of the ground. It really shouldn't. It's taken me ages to get this level, and then... that happens, and I have no clue why. That's really frustrating. Sometimes the game mechanics really do bother me. I don't know why that's happened. I'm running out of dirt as well. Right, now that is level, well, it's ish. Level-ish. Now, why is the hoe doing that? I don't know. It shouldn't. It should simply hoe rows. It should not affect the level of the land at all, and this time it's not, which is quite strange. That's a little bit glitchy. Okay, and I'm going to do this all the way around the outside of this area here, like that, and then we're going to go and get some seeds. I think we've got seeds, we've got trees, and as I say, hopefully we've also got grass, all of which can be planted up. And we're keeping them in this little area here. Here we've got... no, here's my seeds. So we'll take all of these, plus those. And we've got a load of grass here. So for the minute, I'm just going to get a handful of grass. And we're going to place this as accurately as we can, which is probably not saying a lot. Wow, that's vibrantly green, and it doesn't matter if we get actual grass. I'm fine with that, though we might keep it sort of relatively short. Okay, so I've planted our lawn, I've trimmed our lawn. Now we're going to place a couple of trees. We've got an apple and a cherry. I think that's an apple and that's a cherry, and I don't suppose it matters over much where either of them goes. We've just got plenty of space here for them on the lawn, so I guess I'll place my apple tree sort of here, and we'll put our cherry a bit more in this corner over here. There we go. And then we've got our crops to plant. Now, we've only got a few, but that's because this is only intended to be a fairly small garden, really. So, let's see, hemp seedling and cotton seedling. Well, we might want those for purposes of... let's have our tomatoes first. We'll have the tomatoes against this wall here. Yeah, we might want our... cotton and hemp from a point of view of being able to make fabric, which we're going to be able to use then in our build, of course, for our soft furnishings and things. So I think in point of fact we will plant some of those. Let's see, how much have we got here. We've got quite a lot of space to plant these, and these will grow nice and tall, which should look good. So I will just put tomatoes all along this wall here. There we go, and the next thing we'll plant, I think, maybe we'll plant some potatoes here. And again, we're doing this kind of off-grid. It doesn't really matter particularly where we put them. We'll space them fairly evenly, but of course in real life you don't have a set square for doing this kind of thing. And then we'll place some carrots in the remaining space. And we have space to be able to plant some other things as and when we find them. Do we have some? We have some melon seeds actually, so let's place those as well. Let's put some melon here. And they're quite large, aren't they? So let's just do that. There we go. And then, oh, and we've got some more as well. Okay, and ultimately we will have a border of flowers along here, but for the time being we do need to plant our hemp and cotton as well, and we've run out of space here, so what I might do, I might just plough that bit as well. Let's see, where's my hoe? Well, hoe rather than plough. There we go. Looks nicer anyway, in my opinion, this oh dear, that's got a little bit wrong. I'm going to need a bit more grass on there, I think. But the hoed ground looks a little bit nicer. So we'll do that. There we go. And maybe what we'll do is we'll place our cotton on one side here and our hemp on the other. So, as I say, we need this in order to be able to make fabric and cloth and what have you. There we are, and if we got 4 of these too, we have 4 of these as well. So we'll place those on the other side. There we are. And then the rest of this can be, I've put my grass away now, so I can't rectify that. But the rest of this is going to be flowers, I think, going down there. Or maybe what we'll do is we'll just find some more crops and we'll plant them all the way around the outside. Why the heck not? Have a nice functional garden. Now, my grass and my gravel don't quite line up there, so I might have to maybe narrow this gateway. I like the gateway the size it is, to be honest. So what I'll probably have to do is take my rake to this and just redo the grass here, because maybe we're better off without grass on that side because there isn't really space for it. I'd quite like to have some, but yeah, it needs to be, I don't know, it needs to be a little bit further over really. So there we go. So lighting. Now we could do with some lights around this garden as well. We're going to need some lights probably here. On the outside of, I'd like to put one there and one there, just kind of like wall lights. They could be a bit twitchy to try to place those, but that would be a good thing, I think, if we could do that to guide us home. And then we could put a wall light there quite easily as well. And then the same type of wall light I want here next to our door. So either there or on that side, I'm not sure. So let's go and see what the possibilities are for lighting. And this is where we're going to need our tier 2 bench here. We're going to need to make lamps, light bulbs and what have you, but let's just see what lights are available to us at the moment. See, that one there is quite good. It can be placed on floor, wall and ceiling, and that is what I'd quite like to place in a few locations. Maybe one of those ones, but in white, might be quite good just against the wall, because that would look like, yeah, it would look more of an outdoor light maybe. Okay, so I think we probably want to make a couple of those. I've already got 4 light bulbs, which we've had for a while, and we've got 2. We need some iron plates as well. Now, I can't remember if we've got any iron plates at the moment. Probably not. No, because, oh, I know I have some here already, so that's fine. We'll make some iron plates. Max. Oh, I can only make, oh no, I can make 12. There we go. So straight away I can make a couple of those. Let's see, let's make 2 of those. Nice. And then the other kind of lamp that I would like to use is these ones. And again, I think I can make 2 of those. So there we are. In spite of the fact that I did bring some tungsten and what have you, however, we're going to need that for lighting for the rest of the place, of course. But until then, let's see if we can place some of these lights on the outside of our build. Now, are we going to look better with a light on this side of the door or on that side? I think this side has a little more symmetry to it, and maybe a little bit higher like that. There we go. And then we're going to place one similarly down here, sort of there, I think. Okay, so that's not absolutely right in the middle, but that's okay. It's just guiding you to the path. And then we really want to place these here, and it looks like they'll actually do it, which is nice. I do find there's usually one orientation at least that they won't go on, which is frustrating. Or maybe that's been fixed, I'm not sure. There we go. So, for the moment here, we're pretty much done, guys. It's looking nice. I'm tempted to go run up the hill and see what this looks like from the distance, as per usual. We still have our pathway to put in place that'll lead up to the road that will lead to the castle and all our other builds. But, oh, nice. There you go. So we get a bit of a bird's eye view of our garden plot there with all of our crops that are not yet grown, but hopefully will be in time for us to be able to use them. What I'm going to do now is have something to eat and drink, because I'm starving again, as I usually do in this game, because I'm too busy creating. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if I can straighten out our gravel path there. I've got gravel left over, I've got my pickaxe, and I will save my frustration for some off-camera some tweaking. As I say, I will probably do the pathway between here and the rest of our builds off camera also, and it's gonna go kind of over in that direction there. It looks like, yeah, that hasn't quite updated yet, has it? But that's okay, I'm sure it will do by the next time we do an episode. And in the next episode, we are going to start decorating the inside of our lighthouse. Now we've got the garden sorted out, we're going to start with the inside. As I say, at the moment, time's a bit of a premium for me, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take each area as it comes, and we're going to see how we go from there. So we're going to start out with our living and kitchen area here, and if we have time, and pantry, and if we have time, then we'll move on to the floor above. But you guys are just going to have to bear with me, and we do this bit at a time, and we will get it finished. So, until then, I do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button and let me know. Also, feel free to leave me your hints, tips, and comments. Share your gaming experiences, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, our tomatoes are growing already. Until then, keep gaming, keep surviving, and stay happy. Bye-bye for now.